Welcome to the She Invests Intuitively podcast, a Soulful Valley podcast for women who are done dimming their light, done playing small, and ready to rise. Here, we don't chase money. We align with it. We don't listen to market noise. We trust the quiet power of our inner voice. I'm Katie Carey, author, publisher, and intuitive entrepreneur. I turned debt and heartbreak into financial freedom, and now I'm here to remind you, investing in yourself is the most powerful decision you'll ever make. These short, soul-infused episodes and occasional guest conversations with kindred visionaries are your permission slip to move with purpose, lead with intuition, and receive with ease. Let's activate your next level together. Welcome back, beautiful soul, to She Invests Intuitively. In the last episode, I spoke about learning to receive without collapse and the way life sometimes creates a pause before a period of expansion. This chapter of the journey flowed naturally from that one because what came next taught me something I had never fully understood before about authority, trust, and leadership. When Soulful Valley was still in its infancy, I made what felt like a sensible business decision. The first collaboration book had launched successfully. Authors were joining us. Momentum was building. Like many new business owners, I found myself looking for support so I could grow faster and reach more people. Someone came highly recommended to help with outreach and connecting with potential authors. At first, everything appeared to be working. The first book filled quickly, and I convinced myself I had made a smart investment. Looking back now, I can see that what I was really investing in was certainty. I wanted reassurance that the momentum would continue. I wanted to know that the next one would fill as smoothly as the first one had. Then reality arrived. Applications for the second collaboration book, Entangled No More, began coming in. 11 people applied. At first I felt excited. 11 applications felt like proof that everything was working. Except none of them followed through. Not one. While those applications were arriving, money was steadily leaving my account every single week. At the time, I was paying around £250 a week, not for results, not for authors who joined the project, but simply for activity, for conversations, for outreach, for effort. Eventually, I had to face something I didn't want to admit. The numbers weren't adding up. What made the situation even harder was that something deeper than the finances was beginning to bother me. A strange feeling would appear whenever I opened my inbox. Certain messages didn't sound like me. The words felt unfamiliar. The tone felt wrong. People were receiving communications from my account that carried my name, but not my voice. Posts were appearing in groups under my name that I would never have written myself. The language felt pushy. The energy felt uncomfortable. The whole thing left me with a knot in my stomach. For a while, I tried to explain it away. After all, wasn't delegation supposed to help? Wasn't this what growing businesses did? Yet every time I ignored the feeling, it grew louder. Eventually, I realised this wasn't really about marketing. It wasn't even about money. It was about identity. It was about energetic consent. It was about discovering that someone can represent your business while completely missing the essence of who you are. Many hours were spent repairing conversations, clarifying misunderstandings, and reconnecting with people who had experienced an energy that simply wasn't mine. Trust takes time to build and only moments to erode. Meanwhile, another challenge was awaiting around the corner. The editing bill arrived. I can still remember the feeling. The invoice landed at precisely the moment where there was no money coming in from my second book. Authors weren't paying. Income had stopped. The numbers in my bank weren't matching the commitments I had made. For the first time since launching Soulful Valley, I found myself unable to pay someone when I had promised I would. That broke my heart. Not because my editor had done anything wrong, quite the opposite. She had delivered exactly what she said she would. The problem was that I felt responsible for everyone and everything. Responsibility has always come naturally to me, but during that season it became heavy. Very heavy. What followed was around 5 months without income. 5 months of wondering how I was going to make it work. 5 months of carrying stress, fear, guilt and pressure while trying to keep showing up. At the time, I thought I was simply navigating a business challenge. Years later, I can see it was something much deeper. Life was teaching me how to trust my own leadership. Around that period, I recorded a series of podcast interviews with Katish Haberfield. Some of these conversations explored money. Some explored relationships. Several included past life regressions and emotional healing work that touched places I hadn't fully explored before. Something shifted during those sessions. And the very night one of those breakthroughs occurred, my body responded in a way that was impossible to ignore. I passed kidney stones. Hours were spent curled up in pain, moving between agony and exhaustion, feeling as though my entire system was releasing something it had carried for far too long. Anyone who has experienced kidney stones will understand exactly what I mean when I say there comes a point where surrender is the only option. I was laid out on the bathroom floor, screaming, with no one coming to help. I was nowhere near my telephone. Looking back, the symbolism feels impossible to miss. My body was releasing what my heart had been carrying. The fear, the pressure, the need to hold everything together, the belief that I had to do it all alone. Then, in the middle of that difficult season, a message arrived. One of the authors from my very first collaboration book reached out. She wanted to work with me again. This time, she wanted to join the next Evolving on Purpose project. To anyone else, it may have looked like a simple inquiry. To me, it felt like a lifeline, a reminder, a confirmation, and evidence that people weren't saying yes because of marketing scripts or outreach strategies. People were saying yes because of the connection, because of the relationships, because of the trust. A few weeks later, another unexpected gift arrived. Alan. The man who would eventually become my soulmate. What still makes me smile is the timing of it all. Our first date took place on the exact day one of those healing podcast episodes aired. The very conversation that explored releasing blocks around love and money was reaching listeners while I was sitting across from the man who would become one of the greatest blessings of my life. Sometimes life has a sense of humour. Sometimes the universe places the answer in front of you the moment you finally stop gripping so tightly to the question. When I look back on that entire season now, I don't see failure, I see refinement. Every part of it stripped away something that wasn't aligned. The outsourcing that was inauthentic, the boundaries that weren't strong enough, the places where I had handed away pieces of my authority because I thought someone else knew better. What remained afterwards was something far more valuable than a successful book launch. What remained was me, a stronger version, a woman who understood that authority isn't something you declare. Nobody can hand it to you, nobody can certify it, and nobody can bestow it upon you. Authority is built every time you honour your intuition when it would be easier to ignore it. Authority is also built every time you choose alignment over convenience, and it's built every time life tests your standards and you decide not to lower them. That season gave me my voice back, and from that point forwards, Soulful Valley grew from a very different foundation. In the next episode, I'll share what happened once safety returned, how love and business began to flow together in ways I never could have predicted, and how the money I thought I had lost eventually found its way back to me. Until then, I leave you with a question. Where in your own life have you been looking outside yourself for authority that already exists within you? Sit with that. Listen carefully to what comes back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for walking this journey with me, and I'll see you in the next episode.
She invests intuitively. If this episode lit something up inside you, trust it, share it. Take one aligned action before the day ends. Remember, your energy is your currency. Your intuition is your greatest investment strategy. And you are already the woman you've been waiting for. Be sure to subscribe, leave a soulful review, and visit sheinvestsintuitively.com. Here's our disclaimer. The stories and insights shared in this podcast are for inspiration and educational purposes only and are not financial advice. Always trust your intuition and seek professional guidance when needed. When you've finished here, come and join me over on the Soulful Valley podcast, where inspiring authors, healers, and visionaries share their journeys of awakening, purpose,